Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope all of you are doing well. This is going to be my TNA Slammiversary predictions. Slammiversary will be tomorrow, July 20th. It's going to be taking place in Elmont, New York. I got the Wikipedia page up so that way I can get any information that I need to share. And it's been a while since I've seen a TNA pay per view. I really could not tell you when the last time I watched a TNA pay per view. I would say over 10 years, maybe 20 years. I think the last one might have been in 2010, which I believe was the Hardcore Justice pay per view, which was kind of the ECW themed pay per view. Um, I believe. Don't quote me on that. So it's been quite a while, and I'm excited because we do have a lot of cool things gonna happen tomorrow. I mean, we've got the return of the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, who hasn't been in a TNA ring for a very long time. So I'm pretty excited for this. It's gonna be one of the Slammiversaries to remember for a long time. So I'm not sure how the match cards are going to go. I guess whatever I have here on Wikipedia might be the order it's actually going to be in, but I could be wrong. I don't necessarily think it's going to. But we have two pre show matches. The first one we have is a 6-man tag team match. We got Jake Something, Steve Macklin, and Mace Warner taking on Zilla Fatu, Real One, which is Enzo, and Josh Bishop. This is going to be a really good match. Zilla Fatu and Enzo. I'm just going to call him Enzo because I just feel like it's better than calling him Real One. But I'm excited for this. I've always been a fan of Enzo and Big Cass. I feel like they weren't given the proper creative outlook, or I'm trying to find a better term for it, but just creatively, I don't think they were given a chance. I mean, people loved them. I remember when they made their main roster debut and they cut a promo on the Dudleys, and it was absolutely amazing. And to split them up was the worst decision ever, I feel. Now, yeah, Enzo has his own issues, and of course, everything that went down with him, which ended up in the result of him, getting released, only to find out that, he was innocent, but from what I had read, that he just never mentioned it to WWE. And sometimes, on a legal standpoint, it might be best. It depends on if his lawyers were like, don't say anything to your employer just yet. We don't know the whole story on why he never told them, and that's not something I'm going to get into. But the fact that we're going to see him in TNA for this little bit, and TNA having this partnership with WWE, there is that possibility. Now that Triple H is kind of the one in charge, we've seen a lot of differences. Now I know everybody has their opinion on Triple H, but Triple H hasn't really been in charge for that long. So we really gotta give him time. It's gonna take a few years to really get to a higher, what's the term I'm looking for? Not, I was gonna say higher element or higher standard, but I feel like what we're seeing now is just going to build up to something bigger and better. I mean, look at what we've gotten. After almost 7 years, we finally got Evolution 2. We got a partnership with TNA. We got a acquisition of AAA, and did a Worlds Collide, which was awesome. I really enjoyed that. So there's going to be a lot to come. They're traveling to other countries that we would never expect them to go to do these shows, like Money in the Bank and the Royal Rumble. I mean, they're going to Saudi Arabia a lot more, Canada, you know, just doing all these different things. And like Clash at the Castle, they're doing these themed pay-per-views for the different countries. So we got Clash at Paris, we had Bash in Berlin. I mean, we're just getting new stuff that we would not normally get. We're seeing guys who, left the company return, like Aleister Black and Rusev. We're seeing guys we never thought we would see in WWE. Guys like the Motor City Machine Guns, Jeff Cobbs, Tamatonga, Tongaloa, and, just a lot of good things are coming. We just got to give it time. But yeah, this match is going to be a good six-man match. I feel like it's hard to say who's going to win this, but I feel like with, the big name Zilla Fatu, I feel like is the big presence here because he is doing outstanding in the independents. I feel like they're really going to allow him to get this win. Because let's be honest, TNA is not going to, Jake Something, Steve Macklin, Mace Warner are not going to lose credibility from losing this match. I mean, they're still doing great, especially with their feuds with whoever and whatnot. So, yeah, I feel like this match alone is going to be a pretty decent one. But if I'm going to go with anybody, it's Zilla Fatu, Real One, Enzo, whatever you want to call him, and Josh Bishop. I'm having some coffee, so you guys got to bear with me here. We have a tag team match for the TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Championships. We have the Elegance brand. Let me rephrase that. We have Ash by Elegance and Heather by Elegance, who are the current champions. They are going to be taking on the Inspiration, who are well known for being the Iconics when they were in WWE, which is Cassie Lee and Jessica McKay. I see the Inspiration winning. I see the Elegance brand pretty much either splitting. I think we're going to see either Ash by Elegance turn heel or Heather. And I think it's going to lead to a feud between those two. I don't see them. I mean, I could be wrong and they may lose it and then try to get a rematch against the Inspiration, but I think TNA is going to be high on the Inspiration, so I definitely see them picking up the win and winning the titles. And eventually down the road, I see them returning to WWE. We have Trick Williams, the current TNA champion, taking on Joe Hendry and Mike Santana. This is going to be a good match. I'm not going to lie. I think this three-way is going to probably be one of couple of matches of the night. Joe Hendry has had it, he's been doing pretty well, but recently with him, going to NXT and, having his match against Randy Orton at WrestleMania and having a spot in the Royal Rumble, I feel like WWE is going to be high on Joe Hendry especially on signing him when his contract ends with TNA, and I feel like we're getting close. I feel like the winner of this match is going to be Mike Santana. I feel like they're going to start pushing Mike Santana to be the big name in TNA, and then I think Joe Hendry will do his feuds here and there with Mike Santana, and then eventually lead to him leaving TNA and getting signed with WWE. So that's what I'm going with for sure. So I see Mike Santana becoming the new TNA World Champion. We have Masha Slamovich, who is the current TNA Knockout Champion. She'll have Li Ying Lee and Zaya Brookside. And she'll be taking on JC Jane, who will have Fallon Henley and Jasmine Nix on her side. This is going to be a one-on-one match, so these other four are going to be at ringside. It's a winner takes all, so that means whoever wins this becomes both the Knockout Champion and the NXT Women's Champion. So since they had the way I see this going is Masha Slamovich winning. The way I don't see them having both NXT carry the TNA titles. We have Trick Williams as the current TNA champion, so I feel like they're going to go and have a TNA star become an NXT champion. kind of reverse it there. So I do feel like Masha Slamovich will be the person to do so. I think TNA is really trying to push her to be top of the knockout division, and as much as I like JC Jane, I just feel like, yeah, I just feel like there's not a whole lot they can do with her. I just feel like her, you know, her character is getting stale, especially with her group. It's just, I don't know. I just feel like it's not working. And I feel like the best way is to just have her lose the title, and then maybe possibly have Fallon Henley and Jasmine Nix kind of, turn on her. Then we have a 4-way tag team ladder match for the TNA Tag Team Championships. We have the Nemeths, which is Nick and Ryan, versus the Hardys, versus the Rascals, and versus First Class. I'm excited for this. I don't see Jay Francis and Casey Navarro picking up the win. I mean, I could be wrong, but I just feel like they're not gonna do a whole lot in TNA. I feel like they're just a time waster, like a time waste tag team, just kind of putting talent, more of just putting talent over. Nick Nemeth and Ryan Nemeth, I think, would be a great choice. Same with the Rascals, but I believe Nick Nemeth and Ryan are the current tag team champions, so it makes sense, I believe. Or is it the Hardys? Who is the current tag team champions? I can't remember. It might be the Nemeths. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it has the little C. So I completely have not been catching up. But yeah, they're going to be the champions, and I feel like they can retain. There is that possibility. The Hardys could end up picking up the win. This is going to be hard. I'm going on a long shot here. I'm going with the Hardys. Excuse me. They are the king of the ladder matches. I see them picking up the win here. And my coffee is wanting to play games with me. We have Mustafa Ali taking on Cedric Alexander. This is going to be a great match, kind of similar to the WrestleMania match they had. I'm expecting a lot of great things. If I see anybody picking up the victory, it's definitely going to be Cedric Alexander. I just don't see him having his first pay-per-view match, or it might be his first match with the company. I don't see him losing it. I think it would be a really idiotic move to do, so I'm going with Cedric on this one. We have Moose versus Leon Slater. This should be pretty good. It's for the X Division Championship. I've been a fan of Moose for a long time, since his Ring of Honor days, but I feel like Moose in TNA compared to Moose in Ring of Honor, it's not good. I just don't feel like Moose is himself in TNA. But I do see him. I'm going on a long stretch here, but I do see Moose losing, and I see Leon Slater picking up the victory. I'm sure Moose is going to win, but I like to go with the underdog here, and I'm going with Leon Slater. We have Tessa Blanchard versus Indy Hartwell. Everybody has their opinion on Tessa Blanchard. I'm going with Indy Hartwell. Indy Hartwell's a big name. She made somewhat of a name for herself in WWE and NXT, and I just feel like they need to do her right by having her pick up the win over Tessa. I think it would light more fire to the feud, and have another match at another pay-per-view or so between the two, and could lead into the best 2 out of 3 falls type of match. So yeah, going with Indy Hartwell. And then last we have Dark State, which is Dion Lennox or Cyrus Griffin, Saquon Sugars, and Cutler James versus The System, which is Brian Myers, Eddie Edwards, and JDC, and then Matt Cardona is going to be teaming with them. This is a hard one. This is a really hard one. If I'm going with anything, I'm going to say it's going to lead into a... what do they call it? Like a no contest, because I feel like there's going to be more that get involved in this match. So I don't really see Dark State or the System winning. The Dark State, they're trying to really push as this big group, as a lot of people like to call them, the 2.0 version of man. That group was so forgettable. I can't remember the name in WWE. Yeah, I can't even remember what that group was. Shows you how forgettable it is. But I think that's what they're trying to do, like a carbon copy. But I don't think it's gonna work. Um, the system's great. I mean, Brian Myers and Matt Cardona teaming up again is going to be really good. I've been a fan of Eddie Edwards. I think he's been doing pretty good. I just feel like he needs to get back to his Wolves days. Just I feel like he was just a better competitor during that time. You know, I feel like he does better by himself than just being with a group. But that's just my personal opinion. Um, but I feel like when he was, you know, when the Wolves kind of split and they were still kind of, you know, I mean, they weren't a tag team anymore, but they still had that persona as a tag team. I feel like Eddie Edwards really was doing well and just felt like he was better in, you know, his in-ring performance was a little bit better. But that's just my opinion. But if I'm going with anything, if it doesn't end in a no contest, I'm going with Dark State. I think WWE is trying to push them to be this dominant force, so I definitely see them, you know, getting at least their victory here. I'm going with Dark State. So there you have it. Those are my predictions for TNA's Slammiversary. Should be a good show. There's rumors for a lot of surprises. We got AJ Styles returning, so that's going to be really cool. I'm sure he's going to kind of promo. Somebody's going to come out, lead to maybe a quick little match. Who knows? Maybe. Crossing my fingers. It would be really cool. So yeah, let me know if you guys are tuning in tomorrow for the show, and let me know what your predictions are. I would love to hear your opinion on who you believe will win these matches. I'm excited. Like I said, it's going to be my first TNA pay-per-view, you know, in quite a long time. Uh, you know, I think the last one I saw was Hardcore Justice back in 2010. I believe it was 2010. So. But with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content. I'm Film Talk with Mikey. Until next time, guys, we'll talk films. You guys have a good one. Take care, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.